Hi everyone. So, in the previous session, which we have discussed about of the logical database, so which we can call it as an LDB. So, what was the main purpose of the LDB as which we have discussed? And whenever we want to access the data from the database, instead of accessing the database directly, if you can make the LDB, and whenever we want to access the data from those of the database tables, we can directly access the LDB, not with the not with the direct queries of the table. So as like that, here if I want to make if the client is asking me about of the one of the LDB which we have created in the previous session, but what I am asking now as a client, which I am asking that the LDB was good and everything was finished, but what my problem in from that LDB is whatever the LDB which we have created, that whatever the LDB which we have created, that LDB has been collection of the multiple of the database tables. But what my situation, that means what my requirement at present is, instead of getting all the details from all the database tables, what I want to do that I want to maintain some of the fields from the database table. Say for example, as which were discussed in the previous session, and LDB. So KNA1, which we said that it was a customer master that field, and as well as VBAK, and this VBAK is identity represents with the sales order header, and even we can have one more VBAP, and the VBAP is represents with the sales orders items. But when we are clubbing all these together into one LDB, what will be happens is here the system will display the all the things from these of the database tables. Just a second. Here the system will getting all the details from into the one database table, and here what I have to do that as like that in the previous session which we have discussed about of the LDB, and the LDB is the combination of the individual multiple of the database tables. And what was happened here when we have created that LDB in the sense of here it will be shows that all the fields from the KNA1, and even all the fields from the VBAK, even all the fields from the VBAP. That means what has happened as here it has been clubbed all the fields in together into one LDB. But what my client is asking that I don't want to get all the fields. Say for example of here, if the customer master data having the 40 fields, and if the sales order header having the 30 fields, not the records fields, and in the VBAP in the items it having the 40 fields. So totally what will be happens is, and when you are calling that LDB, it will be shows all the fields. That means 40 plus 40 plus 30. That means it has been showing all the records into or all the fields into output. But I am not satisfied with that. Why? Because instead of getting all the fields into one database, one record, I am totally confusing. What will be happens? I can't understand that one. Why? Because what are the fields will be there and everything will be coming. What we have to do, nothing will be happening here. Nothing is happy for me. In this situation, what the client is asking that whatever we have created from that LDB, from that LDB, I want to pick some of the fields into my report. Then that is the what which we can call it as a simple report using with LDB. That means today we are going to discuss about a simple report with LDB. So the LDB has been already prepared, and now by using of that LDB we are going to prepare the simple report, how it was. And here I am using some of the programming conditions. It was very easy for any functional consultant. Even if you want to become an FICO or techno-functional with any functional consultant, it will be very easy and very simple procedures and very simple steps. Here the tool which we are using is editor. So which we can call it as it was an Abap editor. So, and for using of this Abap editor, the transaction code is SC38. So let's have a look in the screen. So as which we have discussed, we have to go for the SC38 here, S338 and enter. So when we are going to here in SC38 and asking that what is your program name which you want to attend. So I want to attend the program name, but that the program name of say something ZABCD or else ZABC. And what I have to do that? Create. ZABC is already there. Just make it as a ZBCD and create it. So when I'm giving that ZBCD and create it, what will be happens is here it is asking that what is the title of your program. So here I'm mentioning that which I'm saying that is a name simple report using with LDB. Simple report using with the LDB. So here by using the simple report with LDB, so which type of the program it was? It should be the executable program. That means after giving the input fields, when I'm executing that, then only the output has to be comes. For like FBL3 and FBL11. After giving the input values, when you are executing that, then only the output will becomes like those of the fields, those of the records which we can call it as an executable programs. And what is the logical database which you want to use here? So in the previous session which we have created already the logical database. So what is the logical database which we have created? Let's have a look of that one. So SC36 and the logical database which we have created, I think so that was an ZABCD. That means I have created already the logical database, and using by that logical database I want to get the records into this report. That means that's why which we can call it as an LDB, simple report with logical database. Sorry, simple report with the LDB. So here and this create what it was, simple report with LDB, and what was it was an executable program, and it has to be executed by the logical database of ZABC. This was the main, and then save it, and then go for local object, and in the step-by-step procedure, after clicking onto the local object, then the editor screen will be comes here. So from this editor screen, what we have to do, and as in so from this editor screen, I want to edit the LDB. So even if you can write a number of programs, or even if you can write a multiple of the gaps also in the lines, and everything will be possible. So here in the editor, first of all, what I want to do that, I want to call the nodes whatever I have used with me. Whatever the node names which I am using, KNA1, VBAK and VBAP, which has been already used in the LDB. That's why here I am writing that NODES nodes space. What is the nodes which you are using? KNA1, that is the first node, comma VBAK, the second node, and VBAP, the third node. And in Abap editor, all the ending part of the program or ending line of the program or whatever it was, that has to be concluded with the full stop. It should be ends with the full stop. And even if you are preparing a multiple, see KNA1, VBAK, VBAP, multiples of things, for that we need to use the colon. And if you can see here what you want to that, we need to write the nodes, and it is a multiple of the nodes of KNA1, VBAK and VBAP. So these are the nodes which are required. So fine, the nodes which we have mentioned. Under that nodes, what I have to do? You have prepared the nodes, fine. From the notes, we have to get the data. What are the headings which are required, in the sense of whatever you want to make as an headings, simply you can write as a bright. That means whatever I want to say, it has to write in the output screen. Bright. What do you want to write? I want to write a multiple of the things. That's why I'm giving the colon. So what do you want to write? So I want to write the customer number, and whatever you want to print as it is in the output, that has to be comes in the single colons. That means whatever you want to write, whatever you want to display in the, exactly into the output screen, then it has to be maintained into the single quotes. And even if you want to apply this customer number with some other colors, not in the regular color of the black and green, then we can make it as color 6 or else 2. What is the color codes in the sense of the totally the SAP system or any in the any system we can have the totally 7 colors. The first one is the first 3 are the RGB, red, green, blue, and the next thing is the CMYK. So like the totally 7 colors will be there. Here 7 numbers of the codes will be there. That means 1 to 7 are the color codes. Here I am applying the color 2. And I am continuing with the comma. Why? Because I am having the, I mean, require multiple of things. And after that, what I am writing here, after the customer number, I am in require the customer name. And this one also I need to maintain apply the color 3, comma. And what do you want the next one? And the next one I want to make it as a country. So for the country, what is the color you want to apply? So I am maintaining it as a color 7. It is not required to maintain within a serial order of the colors also. We can use the as per your wish. And even the next one, order number, and this order number has to become as a color 4. And even order date. So I want to maintain the order date also. And the order date has to be, color, and the order date has to be color 5. And even I want to maintain the order value also. I will show that. See, order value, and the order value is in a color something around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now see, so can we know that what is the main purpose of these colors? In the sense of nothing will be there for making the output of the screen to easier. That means make it some, instead of the single color, make some other extra appearance. We can use this one. Nothing else from the other. Just execute it up to here. Activate it. Enter. After completion of this one, test it. See, the LDP has been having the selection option to the CM no position no. Execute it. This watch. Customer number, customer name, country, order number, order date, order value. So this is the main purpose of the applying of the color. But here also I'm not satisfying with this. Why? Because here it was showing that in a single way without of the gap in sequential, one by one. But the customer number is in a 6 digit, or if it is in a 10 digit, what I have to do? That means after this I want to make some space. After this I want to make some space. Under situation, you can maintain the space also here. See here first 3. I am giving the 3. And for the second one I am giving the 15. And the third one which I am giving the 35. And the fourth one I am giving something, your wish. There is not a mandatory to maintain like this. 70. And here I am proposing 9. Now let's have a look what will happen here. Execute it, activate it, and execute it. And execute it. Now like this. Even now we have used the color 3. Even here what my client is asking that instead of using the color of the background, if you can observe here what will happen here, Here the system has been displaying the data, that means the color for not the letters, for the background of the letters. Want you able this? See? See? Not for the color for the so and so. It will proposes the color for the background of the letter. But what my client is asking that instead of applying the color for the background, if I want to apply the color for the foreground, that means for the letter color, what I have to do? See, all the background colors will become. But my client is asking to apply the letter color, not the background color of the letter. Then what we have to do that here, color 2, after that inverse, that means make it opposite. Now it has been comes into the background. If we can apply the inverse, what will happen? So let's check it out. See, the letter color will be there, and even here inverse. See what will happen here. See, the letter color has been changed, not the background color. It has been changed to the letter color. Even here inverse, you can make it as an inverse of. Let's see what is the difference in between of the inverse and inverse of. Nothing will be there. Inverse of in the sense of it will be applicable the background. Even if you want to inverse on, instead of the inverse on, we can make it as an inverse also, not a problem at all. See, the letter color has been applied. So as like that, if you can apply the inverse, it was applicable the color into the letter. If it is nothing will be there or inverse of will be there, that will be applicable for the background color of the letter. One is the background color of the letter, and then the second one is the letter color, like this. So as like this, which one you want? Even if you can remove this inverse, or if you can make it as an inverse of, if we can make it as an inverse of, it will show the background color. If it is an inverse, it will show the letter color. Others, don't write anything. Automatically it will be applicable for the background color. Even if you were not applying any inverse or anything, automatically it will be applicable for the background color, not the letter color. So as like this, we can apply the multiple of the colors also, and there is not a requirement to use the colors. But if when you are preparing for the interview, or else if the client is asking that if I want to see the report some accurately, and I want to see that report with a multiple of the colors or multiple of the conditions, then is it possible or not? Yes, that will be also possible. Nothing is impossible in SAP for the business organization. See that? And after completion of this, again, what my problem is, the headings are cleared was the headings has been came. Under that headings, there should be I am required that 2 lines. That means I want to maintain that 2 underlines. What I have to do for maintaining of the underline. No need to confuse about it. The underline is in a U line. How many U lines we want? I want to maintain the 2 U lines. Let's make it as a U line, and another U line, and another U line. Garnish. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. See, 4 U lines will be there. Even if I want to make an U line in before of the right also. See, what will happen is I am removing those of the 2 here, and I am giving here. Let's see what will happen here. Like this. So whatever we want, and even if you want to use this now, I want to comment this. What we have to do that? Just make as a star mark. Star mark is represents with the comment. That means it will not comes into the usage. Automatically the line was commented, and even it has been not in the work usage. See, now it was showing only 1 U line. But in before of the executing of anything, you have to make something activate. So like this, we can create the headings. Right, the heading is finished. Then what we have to do? I need to call the data from the LDB. So, excuse me. So for calling the data after completion of the creation of the headings and underlines, I want to get the data from the database table. See, about how much of the it was easy for functional consultant or anyone, even if you don't know the programming also we can do the program. About. See what it was? What do you want? I want the notes. So what do you want? I want to write. What write? This one. And what do you want to place? The underline I want to place. And after that, what do you want? I want to get the data from there. What is the condition? Get. That's enough. The condition is so simple. Get. What do you want to get? I want to get the KNA1 from the node of KNA1. I want to get something with the node of VBAK. And I want to get something from the node of VBAP. Done. That means, first of all, what are the nodes you want? And what is the headings you want? And from where the data has to become. And after getting that data into the program, what has to be displayed? We didn't write any display program. For that, again, we have to write in the right. So what we have to write here? See, here also I have to write, but I don't want to write these headings. What I want to write is KNA1, the node of KNA1. That means whatever the data which were collected from the KNA1, from that KNA1, what I want to print, in the sense of I want to print the value of KUNNR. This is the table and the node. The table and the node and the field. These both has to be separated with this hyphen. The table and the node both has to be differentiated with those sounds. And for the customer name, it was a name KNA1 name 1. And the country was it is a name KNA1 land 1. And the order number, which we can say that VBAK, VBELN. And the order date and the order date and the order date VBAK ERCAT and the order value VBAK and NEWR. So like this we can have the multiple of the things into characters. So like this, after getting of all the records, now let's have a look here what we have to do. Okay, after completion of this, let us have a check it out. Activate it. See, there was an errors will be there. I want to see the errors. Display errors. See what will be showing that? The data object KNA1 has no component called NAM1. That means in the line of 23, even it has been showing that the error also. And what is that error? In the line of 23, see, we are in the line of 24 now. This was a line 3. What it was in the sense of line 1. Now let's have a activity here. Yes. And try to execute. Done. And what are the records you want? I want to get the records from 100 to 1000 and then execute. Now, instead of making the entries of all the records in the output, here it was coming the output of only some of the fields which we have mentioned. What are those of the fields which we are asking is the customer number and the customer name, and after that something the customer number, customer name, and the customer country, and having that and leaving that even from that what is the order number and order date and the other value. Even you need not to maintain the colors of the scene. You can change the colors also from here. So whatever, if the color is not a mandatory, whenever you want to make that screen something special or something looking very special in the zone, so you can apply that. But there is not a mandate to apply the colors and everything. And for making of this execution, it will be take some time. Why? Because the LDB which we have prepared, from that LDB it has to be collect the records into here itself. That's why it will take some time. So here, in the previous, after completion of the program executing, which we are asking this one, the customer number, customer name, country, order number, order date, and order value. See, all the records has been came for the customer of the 100,000. Everything will be there. Even if you can apply or if you can change, want to change the colors also here, you can. Not a problem at all. See, 7, 6. There is not a mandate to maintain those of the colors regularly. See, 6, 5, 4, 3, and make it as a 2. Now let's have a check it out. Execute it, activate it, and then execute it. And which I want to get the records of 1000, the customer number, and execute it. See what will happens nowadays. The colors was in the inverse. That means opposite colors has been. See, yeah, this one. This one is the colors will be different, and this one is. Even if you can have a multiple of the records like this. So this is the report which we are calling that it is a classical report. It is the report which we can call as a classical report. And the ALB reports will be there, and there is a lot of the reports will be there. And even if we can want to make as in a print also, we can make it as direct. That's not a big issue. So already we can know that's one using by the school request, and we can make it as. So now, guys, I think so it was clear for you people by using that LDP how you can write the one LDP output for simple report. So I think this session will be useful for yours. Becoming as a techno-functional consultant, it was a very easy concept and it was a very important thing. And please make it as a practice. That will be better for each and everyone.